Not being content with merely being the lord and master of Twitter, it appears that Elon Musk has placed his sights on the crown jewel in Google's regalia as well, YouTube, as he has announced that his new version of Twitter Blue, the premium subscription service, will include the ability to upload long-form video and audio format, and that the $8 per month subscription fee will go towards both a revenue stream for Twitter, and also to reward content creators. Well. Now, this is hardly a move entirely out of left field. In fact, I myself have prophesied this a couple times already, but this may just make Twitter, as ridiculous as it sounds, the first honest-to-God, genuine competitor to YouTube that we have seen. Because, let's face it here, stuff like BitChute is not a Google competitor. A YouTube competitor more correctly, but you get my drift. It doesn't have the money, it doesn't have the influence, it doesn't have the content creators. Nor is Rumble an alternative, and God help me, I want to love you, Rumble, I really do, but your back end is a war crime. No exaggeration, it is awful. I've tried setting up my optimization system to mirror videos on this channel to Rumble like 5 times now, and frankly, I've given the hell up. Until there's some kind of major revamp of the back end, Rumble just isn't really an option for people like me, frankly. But Twitter, presuming this is, done correctly, and it has a premium subscription service, well, here's the thing. I've often sung the praises of YouTube Red, because giving content creators access to a pool of money, $8, that is divided amongst views, and then of course YouTube takes a share as well, is a much bigger revenue stream than advertisement is. And if that is Twitter's baseline, you'd be surprised how quickly you could actually earn a fair wad of cash to be able to support yourself and your career on a system like this. Bearing in mind, it still does require the numbers, obviously, and this has some pretty far-reaching potential consequences. Incidentally also, by the way, I want to say, sorry for all of the Elon Musk news recently, it is one of those news cycles, and Elon, no matter what you think about the man, has a remarkable gift to make everything about him. Hell, even the recent revelations that the DHS and FBI have been censoring social media sites using their own governmental portals to do so, well, frankly, we all knew that was happening. The only big question is, how will Elon handle that? Will he deny it? Will he embrace it? God alone knows, frankly. So, there'll probably be more of it as well. Though, I have got my hands on the streaming version, or their web version of The Woman King, which means I can finally do a proper review of that thing. I imagine it'll be rather amusing. So look forward to that soon, but right. So, this is a little bit of a self-absorbed part here, I do admit, but from the perspective of a content creator, this is incredibly interesting, because from the perspective of just you, the average consumer, well, frankly, $8 a month, which is a lot lower, obviously, than the $20 we were told this was going to cost by the mainstream media, which feels almost like an attempt to sabotage it at this point, is a far more reasonable price, but that's still $8 a month. That's still, what, 80, damn near $100 a year? My head math is atrocious, so do forgive me, but no, it's like $96 or something. That's a chunk of change a year, no doubt about it. And for the average person, priority in replies, mentions, and searches, which essentially feed scam, fair enough, but for your average show, this isn't particularly valuable. Ability to post long video and audio, again, not all that valuable. Half as many ads, so it's not even that you don't get ads, you get half as many. Once more, and a paywall bypass for publishers willing to work with us. Now, theoretically, if Elon can get some actually interesting publishers on board, screw the news outlets, get them on board too, sure, but you should be reaching out to fandom shit. You should be reaching out to content creators. You should be reaching out to my good friend Sargon, for example, and the Lotus Eaters. That's the kind of content you want to try and get on your platform. No, like again, the news has a value, obviously, but you need more of this. You need volume and variety rather than crooked old newspapers. And then, of course, this revenue stream to reward content creators. This means dick for 99% of people, though it will potentially open up a new and easier way to become a content creator. Do bear that in mind. But for the average Joe, $8 a month, it's a bit of a hard sell. Again, I think this will be the main thrust of it. If Elon can say, hey, I'm going to provide you with $8 worth of content, or more preferably, then maybe he, that's what I've been saying about YouTube Red as well. Like, it's goddamn Google. They should be providing movies, music, special shows, treats, privileges, so much more than they actually are. And they're only asking, like, what is it, $5? I haven't checked in absolute ages. But nevertheless, for the perspective of greater internet freedom, this is very interesting, because Elon's been cooking up this idea of the X platform, which we've talked about previously, the everything platform, which I think is probably a good idea. Now, obviously, there are some clear issues there. What if Elon turns out to be just as big an asshole as Google? Well, in which case I guess we're fucked, aren't we? That's a simple ass, but somehow I doubt that the most famous African-American in the world is going to turn out to be quite as bad as Google. At least, I goddamn hope not. And having some actual competition with a free speech bent, well, even if this is not a massive success, even if this doesn't end up blowing past YouTube, the simple fact that there is now a competitor will force some degree of change on YouTube. There's a good comparison of this via Steam and Origins. Now, EA got into a kerfuffle over Steam and wanted to make their own online purchasing platform thing, and that turned into Origin. Now, EA had a beautiful opportunity there to actually corner the online digital gaming market by saying, alright, we are a digital-only platform. We give you digital products, that's it. We're going to sell them to you at a digital price, say $40 for video games. $40, there you go. Digital price, because you don't have any printing, you don't have any shipping, you don't have to give the shops a cut, etc. You get rid of so many middle links, so many transportation costs, etc. So obviously, product cheaper. If they had done this, it might have transformed the entire video gaming market straight up. And EA, being a producer of games, would hardly have had a problem stuffing things on the platform, but they didn't. Instead, they decided to compete with Steam on Steam's own terms, but on a smaller, less popular, less functional platform. And that worked out very well indeed, as Origin is now basically dead, not getting developed anymore. If Elon is going to do this, he needs to seize that opportunity and look at YouTube. Okay, alright. What's the best things you've got? Well, I gotta have the three things, as we talked about previously. You gotta have the money. Elon's got the money, no doubt about it. Which then means you gotta get the content creators, because the content creators, they need the money to, well, live and create content. Once you've got those, you got the audience. And once you've got the audience via subscription and advertisement, you got more money, and so the wheels on the bus go round and round. If Elon can do this by introducing a better subscription service that rewards content creators better, well, that's the thing. On YouTube, you need hundreds of thousands of views, preferably 1 million plus and upwards, to really start making a living out of this shit. If on Twitter you could have a higher percentage of premium users supporting you, with perhaps even a higher percentage of the cut of the total, you might only be looking at a couple 100,000. Maybe even less. If Twitter could arrive at the point where you could have comfortable content creation with only like 10,000 views on the steady, suddenly that's a thing that a lot of people can actually achieve. The vast majority of content creators on YouTube are between like 0 to 1,000 subscribers, getting maybe 1,000, 2,000 views per video. If they then can pump out a video every day of the week, for example, suddenly you might actually have something resembling a living there. Which is a hell of a lot lower a barrier of entry than to YouTube. And again, even if he doesn't become a sizable enough competitor in that way, it might force YouTube to make changes on their end. Like, holy shit, Elon Musk is starting to become a threat to us. We're gonna have to improve our premium services. We're going to have to lay off on the censorship. We are no longer the sole player in this field. We've got to do something. And there's the thing too, Twitch. Twitch is an alternative, quote unquote, but not really, not truly, not to YouTube anyways. And they also have the same ideological bent, meaning that YouTube doesn't have to change to compete with Twitch because Twitch is the exact same wolf in the exact same sheep's clothings. They're working the same goddamn scam, essentially. Of course, they're not gonna compete with each other directly in any true fashion at that point. There's also the interesting fact that if Elon is doing this, and he does manage to pull it off, this will give him a ability to be more independent simply because he's not as reliant on the mainstream media's opinion. He's not as reliant on advertisement. He's more reliant on, well, the consumer base and the creators who give him that consumer base. I don't know. I'm actually kind of genuinely optimistic about this, though, again, my biggest worry is, like, you're going to need a lot of people to subscribe to this to make my ideas here actually function. You're going to need a serious revenue source to start getting this, the wheels turning. And this isn't that good of a series of offers, frankly. Now, this will be the big deal again, maybe, but you're gonna have to do something better than priority replies to get somebody to pay $8 a month for Twitter Premium. We'll have to wait and see what old Elon comes up with here, but God, I hope he does it. God, I hope he does, because right now, again, YouTube is the only alternative, and if Twitter was an actual, genuine option, I'd jump over to that boat in a heartbeat. But that's probably quite a few years off yet. So do let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. Whether you think this might actually be a genuine alternative, or even better, what would Twitter have to offer to get you to pay $8 a month? Because at the end of the day, that is the actual question, isn't it? What would you pay for the privilege? Like, or what would you need to be given more correctly for the set price here of $8? Because that is what Elon Musk is going to have to provide, one way or the other. Woman King review coming very soon. The the pro-slavery movie with an all-black cast. I'm looking forward to it. Till next time, have a good day.